everybody, and welcome back to Satisfactory. In the last episode, we got this coal power generator set up and going, producing a total of 900 megawatts, which is absolutely amazing, at least for now. We also did a ton of research in the S.A.M and unlocked all of Tier 3 milestones, as well as bought a couple of things from the Awesome Shop, using the tickets that we got from the Awesome Sync, as we get ourselves prepared for steel production. I've already made a foundation. I've also started a small little factory. It's just 2 foundries taking both iron, which I've turned off, and coal, which comes from way down there, into 2 constructors, making steel beams and steel pipes. Now, the reason that I did this is because we are going to need some research that requires both of these materials for the main production facility. And most namely, it is advanced steel production, because that allows us to get encased industrial beams and automated wires. So let's get this one done real quick. I already have the steel pipes, the modular frames, rotors, and the concrete. I said modular frames. Go. Thank you. What? What the hell was that? Hold on, wait.
Milestone reached. The Miner Mark II allows extraction of resources from nature to fix it at twice the speed of the Mark I model. Miners can be directly upgraded to Mark II without removing the Mark I model, just like conveyor belts and other upgradable infrastructure. Unfortunately, setting up the production of advanced steel parts and project part number 3, automated wiring, will not be as easy. Every moment you delay reduces the chances of saving humanity. I will not show you the predictions, it would only demotivate you.
Okay, versatile framework. That one shouldn't be too bad. It's modular frames and steel beams. That one won't be too bad to build up at our steel production facility. And honestly, the automated wiring, taking stators and cables, when stators only take steel pipe and wire, I think we could get both of these done in this steel production facility. I am, however, going to take the lessons I learned from building the smart plating factory, and I'm gonna go ahead and get Logistics Mark III as soon as possible. Meaning right now. Oh, I'm an idiot, the pod's not here yet. Okay, so never mind, it's not right now. Okay, there we go, now we can do it.
Milestone reached. Improved storage containers and the conveyor belt Mark III provide the obviously necessary tools for improving your current setup. Production speed is of the essence after all. So work hard. Work as if every person you have ever or will ever love is depending solely on the choices that you make. Because they are. Warning. FICSIT psychologists recommend not dwelling on the crushing mental and physical strain of your responsibilities and simply continuing to be productive. Hard work has repeatedly proven to be the best cure for any kind of stress. Now back to work.
You know, that's a whole lot easier said than done, Ada. But you're right, back to work. So as you can see, we've got the, coal area right down here. It is an absolute disaster, and it needs to be cleaned up. But first, I noticed we've got a couple of enemies around here, and they're not gonna just be avoided. And I also noticed that there's a thing over here. What's it called? Mercer Sphere. So I'm gonna go take these enemies out, and I'm gonna go grab that. Nope. I said no, die! Thank you! Hello.
To file the structure.
Oh. Interesting. Okay, well, we have a Mercer Sphere now. So as far as the coal goes that we have down here, we've obviously got those two and that one up there. There is another coal node up here. So I want to clean this up a little bit because it's kind of... Just look at this belt. What is this belt? That is the most disgusting thing I think I've ever created. It is absolutely ridiculous and gross, and it needs to go. So you'll have to give me just a moment, and I will rebuild this coal setup.
Unlike some pioneers, truck stations care about saving humanity.
What? Okay. Truck stations care about saving humanity? You're saying I don't? Is that what you're saying? Well, let's build a truck.
Tractors can use any type of fuel and have a self-driving feature, much like pioneers, only more reliable.
Hey!
While driving, you can record a path to automate vehicle resource transportation. Unlike early self-driving vehicles, tractors will not spy on you. Your employee data is already fully subject to other means of surveillance.
Okay. Wow. Okay, here we are. It's not much better. I forgot to connect this to power. Okay, where was I? So it's not a whole lot better, but it's at least still chaos. Anyways, 3 miners here, 120 there, 120 there, 60 there, feeding into this, 270 in total feeds this, which is going to go to a truck, and that's going to go to our new location. Better than that spider-looking belt that went up that hill. 30 of that one feeds the fuel, 30 feeds into this 270 belt. There you go. So the truck comes up the hill and reaches the truck depot. I'm still experimenting with how this looks. There might not even be walls around this, much like all of the rest of the build so far, but I'm experimenting because at least now we have the concrete, so it looks somewhat better. Also built myself a bit of a concrete foundation, or concrete factory right here, so that I don't have to run all over the damn place just to get the concrete. So, this is the area that we have to work with. There's our iron right there. There's our coal right there. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do the smelters. And we'll kind of go from there. Okay, I think I've come up with something that I'm not completely disappointed in. It's 6 foundries, 270 ore in, 270 coal in, should release 270 steel. The little offshoot of limestone over there, just send that down through here, and then we can just have that come in somewhere over here. So now that we have the steel kind of set up and sorted, now I've got to figure out the rest of the factory. So I was looking at the math, and I don't like what I'm seeing with this math, because I want to make 10 versatile frames per minute. In order to make the 10 versatile frames per minute, I need 60 steel beams per minute. In order to make 60 steel beams per minute, I need 240 steel per minute, which only leaves 60 steel left. No, 30 steel left. And that would have to go into the pipes to make the stators, to make the automated wiring. Not a fan of how this is mathing out, because that also doesn't leave me anything in the backstock for when I want to use the steel beams for making construction projects, because I need the steel beams for Mark III belts. I also need steel beams to make encased industrial beams for future projects, so I'm currently in a bit of a conundrum here. I could make less and just accept the 5 per minute, or not get any construction components for future projects, because the math is coming out almost too perfectly, I could use all of the steel to build my factory with no construction components, but a decently quick rate in which these get built. Or take the slow building time but also get a bunch of construction components. And after looking through this for a little while, I'm starting to realize that maybe it's best if I just go for the slow and steady rate rather than the quick rate, because of the fact that I'm gonna need encased industrial beams for hypertubes, and of course we want hypertubes. I'm also gonna need them for the expanded power infrastructure, so I think that sorts it out for me. Okay, there we go. Got steel beams over here, encased industrial beams down here, steel pipes over there, and concrete being made in those two right there. Just a little bit of a progress update. So that's what we've got going on for us at the moment. Yoink. In an attempt to make modular frames, this is what I've come up with. It is, at its core, the very reason I'm going to hate my existence in the future, but we'll get to that when we get to that. For whatever reason, I decided to load balance everything. I built a little bit of a train, backwards, from the modular frames, which are produced at 2 per minute. I need 2.5 per minute. Specifically, I need 2.5 per minute for the versatile framework, because that's the number it decided to go with. So, follow me on a journey here. And I know my editor hates me already. I love playing this game, but I also despise myself because I am a perfectionist, and because of my perfectionism that I have going on in my veins, everything must be an even balance. I could have made this so much easier on myself if I didn't bother with all of the calculations and then this and then that, and I just let it run and back up and clog up and do everything that it needs to do. But no. That is unacceptable to my brain. Here is our modular frame setup. Modular frames, reinforced iron plates, screws, plates, rods, and smelters, all confined into this tight-knit little area. Because that's just how I am. I just made it super compact because I wanted it super compact. There we are. Yay. Why exactly did I build all of that in this tiny little box when I have all of this space? I will never know. Okay, so I made this a lot more tight-knit than I actually needed to. I've got a lot of space here, but that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. So as it sits right now, this should theoretically produce everything that we need to complete Phase 2 for the space elevator, as well as give us some materials for use with Tier 4 items, and possibly even moving us into Tier 5. So as it sits right now, we've got our concrete, our steel beams, our steel pipes, we've got copper coming in over here, turning it into wires, and then it kind of follows along over to these cables here. We've got stators over here, which require the steel pipes, as well as some of the wires, and all of the cables and the stators amalgamate into the automated wiring over in these two over here. Just down here, we have our versatile framework, taking all of the modular frames from underneath me, as well as some steel beams brought in, surrounding the factory over there. Now, before I can turn this factory on, there's one key thing that I forgot that I needed to do, and that is recording a path with the tractor. So let's see if I can figure out how this works. I don't really use these tractors very often, so I suppose I should just start recording here and then hope for the best. call this the coal loop, in case I need to add another vehicle to it. I'm gonna have to double check on that. But let us go ahead and connect the factory to power. And make sure that everything is, in fact, connected to power. And the recipes are correct. I need you. Thank you. Turn you into a power shard. And then I need to pop that power shard into you so that you make 120 per minute. Haha! We have encased industrial beams. Nice. We also have steel beams. And steel pipes. We've got automated wiring coming through. Wonderful. So the only thing we're waiting for is the modular frames from this entire system. Okay, another factory, and it is about the equivalent of half finished. I wouldn't even say that this is half finished, but it's running, and quite frankly, that's all I can really ask for. It's running. I spent way too much time trying to optimize the modular frame area over there. I'm probably not going to learn my lesson, but I'm going to try and learn my lesson and not try and optimize everything for power efficiency, because that was a lot of work for not a lot of payoff. I am also going to preemptively put an awesome sink in right here for the automated wiring, because the automated wiring is going to be finished long before these versatile frames, just due to the fact of how it's all put together. And I do have this belt connected directly into the space elevator, going all the way back. It is a very ugly belt, but it's just something to get them over here in a somewhat timely manner. So there we go, we are set to go with Phase 2 once all of the materials are built and put in, and that shouldn't take too terribly long. I mean, it won't take long for you guys, it's gonna take forever for me, but it's nothing you guys have to worry about, thankfully. Now, as far as Tier 4 goes, we've only got a couple more things to do to get Tier 4 done. So, we've got blueprints, expanded power infrastructure, and hypertubes. Expanded power infrastructure might take a little bit to get these encased industrial beams, but let's see if we can get the blueprint milestone done. These blueprints ready for launch, let's go!
Milestone reached. Blueprints reduce repetitive building tasks, further optimizing your progression towards saving Earth, with its beautiful ecosystems, abundant natural resources, and sunsets over frolicking puppies and kittens. The blueprint designer allows you to build and combine structures once and then duplicate that configuration effortlessly. Any complaints about the spatial restrictions will only reveal your own inefficiencies.
Okay, now that we've got the blueprint designer, I can go and spend some time building up some blueprints for future projects. So I think I'm just gonna build this blueprint designer. I think I'm just gonna place it down right here for now, at least, just so that I have it in my vicinity for the time being.
Once you have built a satisfactory blueprint, interact with the Blueprint Designer terminal to save it. It will then be available in the Blueprints tab of your build menu. Blueprints can always be edited to correct mistakes or optimize. If you find yourself struggling to work within the set size restrictions, remember that this is a you problem, and efficiency can always be improved.
Okay. So I'm gonna spend some time working out some blueprints for our future endeavors. Okay, there we have it. That's about as good as I could really get it done for now. It's kind of awful, kind of horrendous, But I couldn't build any windows because I forgot that windows require silica. So I decided to go out exploring, and I found a cave. And in this cave I found quartz. So I built a thing to farm up a little bit of quartz so that we can at least have some windows for the future. I also noticed a thing while I was here, and thought it would be a good time to mine up some S.A.M ore.
The strange alien matter, colloquially known as S.A.M, seems to be in its dormant crystalline state, meaning it won't break down your body into its base atomic components on touch. This living matter is extremely versatile and has countless applications. Research it in the M.A.M to establish locally appropriate classification and application, as well as a secure method of awakening.
A secure method of awakening? Should I be concerned? I heard a voice. Is the S.A.M ore talking to me? I'm gonna place down a Mark 1 miner. It's definitely saying something. I can't make out what it's saying. It's definitely saying something, and I don't know how I feel about rocks talking to me. So I'm not even gonna wait to take this back. I'm just gonna build another M.A.M right here. Okay, I need to research this. I need to know what this does. I need to know. I need to know what this is. I'm kind of scared though because it talks to me.
Strange alien matter analysis completed. Dormant crystalline S.A.M can now be found with the resource scanner. In its dormant state, it is safe to handle without special equipment and can be stored indefinitely. Research for enabling the reanimation of dormant S.A.M is now available.
Fill the rivers with blood and let the effigies defile our temples. The sun will follow.
What song? If I'm filling rivers with blood, I don't know if I want a song. Makes me scared.
S.A.M reanimation recipe unlocked. S.A.M can now be safely awakened, provided it is contained. Meaning, if not contained in special electromagnetic storage, it tends to start breaking atomic bonds of any matter it has physical contact with, and reconstructing it into easily transportable resources.
Scripture and blood compose harmony. Follow our hallowed temple halls and listen to the echoes of your ripples. Our bones are more beautiful than yours.
Hey! My bones are very beautiful. And you can't tell me otherwise. This still has me scared, though. Since when did Satisfactory become a horror game?
S.A.M fluctuator recipe unlocked. The fluctuator can mimic unique communication through patterns of electric frequencies to instruct reanimated S.A.M to perform specific tasks or give specific restrictions, such as matter-to-energy conversion. It can also function as matter memory, reading the exact composition and state of a collection of matter in one location, breaking it down, and near-instantly reconstructing it in another location, which has incredible potential for smart storage.
Huh?
Your threads shift solid to fluid to a tapestry. Matter, and mind and melody.
What? Huh? What? I'm scared. So, I built a S.A.M reanimation factory. I'm confused on what this is supposed to do, but, I guess it's here for if we need it later. And there is one final thing I want to get done before I end this episode off, and that is unlocking the expanded power infrastructure. Because in the next episode, we are definitely going to need to upgrade our power plant that we just built last episode. Because with the addition of the steel plant, we are touching up on the limiter of our power plant's production capabilities, as seen right here. This is part of the reason I never got rid of the biomass burners, because that little blip would have just knocked us off the grid, and that would have been a headache and a half to try and get back up and running. And we'll just unlock this expanded power infrastructure right now. Here we go.
Milestone reached. After several pioneers started exhibiting traumatic responses to power blackouts, FICSIT developed mitigation tools recommended by your local therapist. Power storages can hold excess power to delay or prevent blackouts in the eventuality that your factory's power consumption exceeds production. To simplify, these are rechargeable batteries. Power towers carry power lines for significantly greater distances than poles, facilitating factory expansion and exploitation of this environment for the good of FICSIT and humanity.
Alright, beautiful. We've got power towers with platforms, and we've got power storages. So, in the next episode, we will be completing Phase 2. We will be expanding our coal power plant. So, until next time. See you then.